Hello guys, this is Chanlika. Welcome to Learning Ladder of C language. In this tutorial, we are going to discuss about do while loop control structure in C. Here I am given the syntax of do while loop control structure. First, do while loop start with do, with followed by the flower braces. Inside this flower braces, we are going to write a statements which we have to execute repeatedly with respect to the condition. At the end of the flower braces, I am going to declare a condition with while. So while followed by curved braces. Inside the curved braces, I am going to specify the condition. So this loop is ended with semicolon. Now let's see the executive procedure of this do while loop. Here I am written a small program to print 10 lookup 5 times with using the do while loop control structure. Now first let's execute this program. Yeah, we are getting 5 times 10 lookup in the output. Now let's discuss how this flow of execution is done. While we're declaring the do while loop structure, first the C compiler read that do and then it start executing this block of statement. In the first step, I'm initializing in the previously I'm initializing I with 0 constant. Now I'm incrementing this I with a single increment. So now the value of I will be 1, and then the printf statement is read, and so we are getting 10 in the output screen at the first time. After executing this printf statements, the do while loop reaches the end of the flower braces. After reaching end of the flower braces, it's going to check for while loop. So in this while loop, I am specified the condition that I is less than 5. So now the newly updated value of I is 1. So 1 is less than 5. It is a true condition. Since it is a true condition, once again this loop is going to be executed. So the C compiler comes once again to the starting of this flower basis, and once again this I value is incremented from 1 to 2. This printf statement is executed. The newly updated I is checked with this condition 2 is less than 5. Obviously it's true, so it's going to be executed once again. So similarly it's happened up to the 4th iteration. On the 5th iteration, the last updated after this 4th iteration is I equal to 4. So 4 is less than 5. This 4 is less than 5 is true condition, so it's going to be executed. So if the C compile comes to the starting of the flower basis, now the 4 is become 5. This printf statement executed, and then the condition is checked that 5 is less than 5. So the condition gets false, so it's not going to be executed once again. It's going to end with the program. This is the working procedure how we are getting 10 like 5 times in the output screen. Now you can have an doubt that why you have to go for do while loop while we are having the while loop and for loop. For giving clarity the difference between the do while loop and while loop, I am going to do a small modulation in this program. Now let's see the difference. Here in this condition I am declaring it is a false condition, so I am going to compile this. Now let's see what we are getting in the output screen. We are getting 10 in the output screen. Even though we are declaring the condition as a false, then we are getting the 10 in the output screen. Why this? Because while the C in do while loop, the C compiler starts from top to execute top to bottom. So its reader do while loop is directly comes into this block of statements. After so this printf statement is getting executed, and we are getting 10 in the output screen. After executing this block of statements, the C compiler is going to check the condition. So in do while loop control structure, the condition is checked at the end of the control structure. For this reason, we are getting 10 in the output screen, even though I am declared that the condition is false. So this is the main difference between while loop and do while loop. Suppose we are in the requirement of application that the user should know what are the elements that we declare at least one time. So for that type of applications, better to go for do while loop control structure. Now let's see how the do while loop going to work for the various conditions. Yeah, first I'm not going to declare this while within this end of the flower basis. I'm going to declare the new line. Then I'm going to compile this program. Let's see now. We are not getting any change at output. The same channel is printed in the output screen. So by this you can get an idea that while loop can be declared either in the same line of the end of the flower braces or in the next line of the end of the flower braces. Now let's see what happens if suppose the while loop is not given the next line on this flower braces. If suppose I am declaring any statement in between this end of the flower braces and this while condition. So let's see, compile this program and let's see. We are getting an error that this before this printf statement the while loop should be existed. So it is not possible to declare any statements in between this end of the flower braces and the while loop condition. Now let's see what happens if suppose I am initializing this I variable directly inside this do while loop. Now I'm going to compile this program. I'm going to change the condition I is less than 5. I'm compiling this. Yeah, we are getting an error that I is not declared before. This is why because this I is declared inside this the flower braces. So automatically it act as a local variable. So this I cannot be accessed outer this flower braces. So in do while loop we are declaring a condition after the end of the flower braces. So it is not at all possible to do inside the block. Now let's see what happens if suppose I am not doing any modulation to this I variable. I'm going to compile this. I'm getting 10 currently infinity times. This why because this I value is initialized with 0. So we have not done any modulation with this I value. So automatically whenever this I is called by this while loop or do while loop, this I value will be 0. So always the 0 is less than 5 is going to be a true condition. For this reason this do while loop not going to be terminated at any condition. Now let's see what happens if suppose I'm not giving a semicolon at the end of this do while condition. We are getting an error that we are expecting a semicolon after this while. So this why by this we can have a conclusion that without a semicolon the do while loop cannot be executed. So this specifically in do while loop the semicolon is has to be defined explicitly, not in it is defined in predefined manner. Now let's see what happens if suppose I'm not at all given any condition in this while. So we are not going to execute this program. We are getting an error that before this end of this flower braces there should be a condition. So it is not possible to declare and do while loop control structure without an condition. So these are the variable conditions that how the while loop going to work. So thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to get alert for the next tutorial.